Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Merry Christmas. Today I bake off one of my favorite cookies, and they're perfect for Santa. Chocolate chip with sea salt. But first, let's go behind the scenes at Memories of Christmas Past at the Arms Museum. Well, as you know, every year, one of the highlights of the Christmas season is when we visit the Arms Museum for Memories of Christmas Past. Anthony Warelio is the architect each and every year of all the different rooms. And this year, it was a really good idea. There's not one common theme. You have joined in with all the other Christmas enthusiasts.
Correct.
And given them free rein.
Yep. It's the 14th year. We're in the beautiful Arms home, which is the backdrop for this incredible exhibit. And this year, each room has its own theme. And I invited 3 other local residents to put their Christmas up. And it's spectacular.
It really is. And I've enjoyed every room, and I got to meet all the people, and we'll be introducing you to them. And is there like a secret club? How do you find the fellow enthusiasts,
I think we find each other through, antique markets. There's a Christmas club out there. Just folks hearing about this and coming to it and say, I have a love for Christmas.
And then they tell you if they collect something specific or that.
Yeah, and they invite me to their home. I go and look at their tree or their decorations, and I'm like, hey, you got to join in with us. That's what it's about. It's just a great time of year,
Everyone that loves Christmas are like really the happiest people. And all of them have their trees up already. And I am really looking for it. I think everyone is really going to enjoy the offering this year. And I think you really nailed it in every single room. And as I said, it just doesn't do it justice when we show it on television. I mean, you really need to see it in person.
You really need to visit. There's nothing like being, first of all, in the home itself.
Exactly.
That's the setting.
It is a great stage for this.
The antique pieces or the new pieces, you'll see a little bit of all eras this year, and you just have to be in the environment to see them in their place and just take the whole room on.
It really is. Yeah. And it is going to be open, and we'll have the dates, and you can go and check that out. But you really got to come. But before, what's in the gift shop? Let's talk vintage. Let's talk what we've got.
We have 2 gift shops again this year.
Yes.
The museum gift shop is all vintage. You're buying a memory. It could be the elf on the shelf. It could be the shiny bright ornaments that you bought at Woolworths. Things that your grandmother, your parents had, and so forth, growing up in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and so forth. And then in the carriage house behind the museum, we also have a gift shop which has newer merchandise, and it's more the contemporary, from plush animals to Christmas ornaments and so forth like that.
Well, some of the little elves that were helping out Anthony is Beth and Nancy, and they're responsible for the Arms dining room. And you really took off with the peacock motif. I know they have this stuffed one that is part of their original collection.
Yes.
So why the peacock?
Anthony saw my Christmas on Facebook, and he asked me if I would be willing to donate my tree and my decorations. I raise peacocks, and so I have a lot of peacock themed things, gifts from friends like Nancy over the years, and so he asked me to do it. The windows that they have here are reflective of the arts and crafts movement, and so we decided to put together this room.
Well, I mean, it is so elegant. I mean, it really is. And are you with your girlfriend here, are you also into the peacock motif?
I am. My entire backyard is decorated in the motif, and I did a few outdoor trees, and Beth and I have always decorated together over the years, so she had asked for me to help.
What kind of collections do you two have? I mean, you both seem like big Christmas enthusiasts. How do you keep acquiring all these things that you're able to lend this and still do your trees and that at home, correct?
Yes, I put up close to 60 trees. I do a combination. Each tree is themed. I do a lot. Most of them are vintage, and then I do different themes throughout the house. But
60
there's close
trees
to
in
60
your
trees.
home?
Yes. Wow. And then she's also a Christmas queen.
I am very similar. I probably do about the same, and all of mine are themed. Not so much old-fashioned, but a lot of like themed Rudolph, Frosty, Grinch. I do my entire upstairs in any type of Harry Potter, Marvel, all of those type. And then downstairs I have an 18-foot tree in my living room. And I have a crystal tree and different trees like that with the different, I'm kind of a fashionista, so I do like Louis Vuitton and Tiffany's
Chanel
and
tree.
Chanel.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, when you enter the library, Doug, who has one of the most sought after trees year after year, the crystal tree, this year it is amazing. I absolutely love it on the aluminum tree. That is such a good idea. I mean, look at the sparkle all the way down to the tree skirt. When did you conjure this up?
Well, the red, something we wanted to do a couple years ago, and we weren't able to because of the pandemic. But this year, Anthony thought, let's put some real nice sparkle into it and do over the top.
It is gorgeous. And you still have just as many crystals as you usually do.
Yes.
But the red really pops.
Yeah.
Where did you get all this red? Is this like from chandeliers and things like that?
Well, the crystals are from the chandeliers. The red is just one from of our suppliers. We were able to get them, access them.
Wow. I mean, how many crystals are on this tree?
I've lost count, but there's over 2,000
Jeez.
the last time I counted.
I mean, this really takes it to another level.
Yeah, nice and sparkly.
Now, do you have a crystal tree at home? Or do they all come to the Arms?
This is it.
They all come here. Wow. And what do you have at home?
My tree at home has got 1,400 shiny bright ornaments on it.
And that's your one tree?
Just one tree in the living room, and then the dining room has other stuff. But I don't put up as many as I used to.
Well, it's a lot of work, but I mean, Joe, you talk to, Nancy and Beth, I mean, they really have a lot of trees.
Yeah, I don't put up as many. The house is all done, but not trees.
Is your house done already?
Yes, inside and out.
Wow. Wow, I've got to come over and visit you too.
You're more than welcome
But
to.
this really is going to be a knockout. When people enter the library, the crystal tree, I think this is one of my favorite years for it. It really is beautiful. Hang on, we'll be right back with more Christmas decor from the Arms Museum.
Rob, I really love the holidays at Kamara's.
Yeah,
All the lights,
the shopping,
families coming together,
finding deals,
giving to others,
discounts,
baking cookies,
specials,
love, joy, cheer.
sales.
Family just always being around,
Aww.
just there, saying things.
And presents.
Get real, get Kamara.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old World Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Giving is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Giving is living.
I'm all about local, and my bank is Farmers National Bank. Farmers is the true hometown bank in the Mahoning Valley, standing strong for our local families and businesses since 1887. Farmers is also future-focused with a lab branch, interactive teller machines, and best-in-class mobile mortgage app. We've all learned the value of local relationships, businesses, and communities. Switch to Farmers.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
Well, another one of the elves helping out here at the Arms is Joe Dragovich, and you may remember him very, very into Christmas, and he wrote a book called The Empty Hook and has ornaments, beautiful ornaments made, for each character in the book. Well, we're here in the kids' room, and this is his tree. All of these ornaments are yours.
Yes.
And you usually put these on a 12-footer, but due to the lack of space, we had to leave a couple off. This is what, a 9-footer?
9-footer.
And it's really interesting because you don't need to have true hanging ornaments to really decorate a tree, because a lot of this are just toys and things that you've accumulated over the years.
True, you can almost use anything if you use your imagination and decorate a Christmas tree.
I think from all your travels, you buy things. You were telling me you got these when you were away from the Ed Sullivan Show, and your mom, some of your mom's stuff is here. When you see things, you just know this will be perfect for an ornament at some point.
Yeah, let me see if I can find there's a fellow on here that I was in Ireland, and I'm like, I'm buying him. And of course my wife's like, what are you going to do with that? Yeah. I said, I can see him on our Christmas tree. We'll see him eventually. There's vintage to new. There's things from childhood, things from my mom.
Tell me why. Now, how many trees at your home do you put up?
I think I got to stop counting at 20. There's.
What is your obsession with Christmas? Why do you embrace it so heartily?
Without Christmas, what do we have? And that was the reason why I wrote the book, because without Christmas, we don't have the gift of Christmas, which is Christ. I mean, I'm a believer, and I don't shy away from it, and this is just my way to help celebrate. And it's from my childhood. It's just, growing up.
Was your mom also an enthusiast?
Yes. She never, she always managed to do a nice tree, and there was just something, the magic, the lights, and the way it was decorated, and then, I took it to another level. It's the guy from Ireland.
Hi there. He could be a cousin of mine. He could be a little cousin. Hi, he's adorable. I can see why you love him. And are your ornaments going to be here available at the shop today?
They're over in the carriage house. There are, and we're almost done. We got from Elf all the way to Abby the Angel. So I got one more that's in production now. So next year, Snowy the Snowflake will be out, and that'll be the whole cast of characters.
And the whole collection. Wow. So you've got to check those out. Those are gorgeous. But make sure, this is one of my favorite rooms, with the hearth and everything. So make sure you stop and see Joe's tree. Well, the director of the Mahoning Valley Historical Society, we all know and love my cousin, Bill Lawson, by marriage. And there is just a really different vibe this year here at Olive Arms Home, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. And like every other year, nothing is really the same. The different set of collectors and designers worked to pull this all together. And so eclectic is a great word, but just multiple people inputting their loves and takes and traditions of Christmas into one location.
It is really stunning. And I always knew that Anthony was an aficionado.
Oh, yeah.
But there is a lot of people in the Valley that are, cuckoo for Christmas. And they really, I share their passion. And it's just amazing when you go through each room to see how, their tastes change, but all the things that they have, and they're so generous to donate them, for this time period. And the holiday season, man, once this place opens, I think it's the official kickoff of the holiday for the Mahoning Valley.
We have so much repeat customers. They look forward. They call us, when are you opening? So we're trying to get the word out as much as possible so they know the dates and times. And again, it's spectacular, it's different, it's fresh, and it's very personal in terms of the collectors.
That is a really good term. It really is. It's very intimate because these people are sharing things from their home, here in Olive Arms' home. And, every year it's a tradition on our show that we feature, the Arms Museum, but it really doesn't do it justice. You really have got to see it in person. I mean, we give you a taste, but you've really got to come and see it for yourself.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Well, I am here with Rude the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Change of season, that means updated menu.
Yes, we just came out with our new menu. We got some old favorites, some twist on the new things. Our fall drink menu is out, coming soon also. But we got a lot of things going on with the change of the season here.
And what about football on Sundays? All these screens, this is a happening place.
Yes, we are now the home of the Youngstown Browns backers. We're open every Sunday from 12 to 8 with some great drink specials. So if you're a Browns fan, it's the place to be.
And don't forget, I hate to mention it, but the holidays are just around the corner.
Yep, right around the corner, and we have our catering season coming. So we have our banquet hall, holds up to 150, good for family Christmas parties, work Christmas parties. And if you can't come here, we can do the cooking for you and bring it to you.
Remember, always think about the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery for all your occasions.
Hit the road in the all-new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander from Boardman Mitsubishi. Drive one today starting at $26,995. Plus, get the confidence of an industry-leading 10-year warranty. The summer sales event at Boardman Mitsubishi. Going on now.
Donate now. GavaCamp has a generous family that will match every dollar you donate. Help us build a barrier-free educational camp for our friends with special needs. Visit our website or call for more details. Giving is living.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
You better come on in my kitchen.
A while back, I baked my chocolate chip cookies with sea salt, and it really was a hit. One of my most requested recipes. And I make this recipe quite often. And the former recipe had bread flour and cake flour. And the one time I was out of bread flour, so I used regular all-purpose unbleached. And let me tell you, it was even better. So then I tweaked this recipe just a little bit, and I think this is a better cookie recipe. For this recipe, you'll need 2.5 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1 1/4 cups of light brown sugar, 1 cup of sugar, 2 large eggs at room temperature, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla, 2 cups of cake flour, 1 2/3 cups of all-purpose unbleached flour, 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons of sea salt, more for sprinkling the cookies, and 10 to 16 ounces of dark chocolate chips. We are going to put in all the butter, 2.5 sticks. I know this makes a lot of cookies, but you could keep it in the refrigerator for up to a week and make them as you like. Or you could freeze the dough, and that'll last a few months. But if you're gonna make it, you might as well just go big. I'm adding the brown sugar, and I'm going to add the regular sugar. Now, I am just going to put this on medium, and I'm going to run this for a good 5 minutes until it is light and fluffy. Okay, so now it's light and fluffy. And now it is ready for the rest of the ingredients. So what we're gonna do now is keep it on medium, and I'm gonna add each egg one at a time until combined. So the first egg's in, get everything down, it'll start to loosen up. And then we'll add the next egg. So now the eggs are incorporated, and now I'm going to add the vanilla. 2 teaspoons. I know that the flours are pre-sifted, but I find that sifting them again really makes for a better cookie. So this is the 2 cups of the cake flour, all right? I put it in my sifter. Look how old this is. I think it was my grandma's. But it still works just as well. And so I'm gonna sift it. So when you make it nice and light and fluffy, instead of packing it in to the cup, what you do is just spoon it and then shake it to level it. And then do that again for the second cup. And we have just a little bit of the flour left over, but we'll have a lighter cookie. Now we'll do that with the all-purpose flour too. So now we have both flours in the bowl, and we're going to add our salt, our baking powder, and our baking soda, and I will just whisk this together. Keep this on low because you will get puffs and puffs of flour dust. So here we go, one at a time till it's incorporated. Now I don't use the paddle when I add the chips. So I like a darker chocolate chip, but you can use bittersweet, whatever you like, or the milk chocolate. But I like a little bit of a darker, oops, it's a little thick. So now I'm gonna mix the chips in. Well, this is such a big batch of cookie dough that I split it in 2s before I start to chill it in the refrigerator. I usually chill mine overnight, but at least 4 or 5 hours, and that really helps the cookie. I think it bakes it so much better. I guess it could be a much softer cookie and not as crispy if you bake them immediately, but I always chill my cookie dough. So I'll put this in, and we'll get this chilled. And if you want to freeze it, you can do that too. About 3 or 4 months, just put it in a freezer bag so no smells penetrate it. But I did make a batch last night, and I'll pull that out of the fridge, and then we'll get baking. So by the magic of television, I have nice chilled dough, and I like a smaller cookie. This is about a 1/2 inch ball, okay? And then I think if you take like the teaspoon from your measuring cups, that is about the size I like. And then you just roll it in a ball, and you about 2 inches apart. And I'll tell you what, these are so good and so easy. Oh, and you gotta preheat the oven to 350. So what we do is we roll the balls, we set them here, and then, I won't make you watch this whole process, but then just take your 2 fingers and smush them down, and then get your sea salt. I like Malden, nice and flaky, and then you just put a little bit on top, see? And then we'll do that with the whole pan, and we'll put them into the oven for 15 minutes. Ooh, these are perfectly done. Perfect. Now let them sit for about 3 minutes before we remove them and put them on the cooling rack. And I'm gonna throw this batch in. So aren't they beautiful? And they are pretty easy, and they are plentiful. This is a huge recipe. And guess what? They're delicious. I love these things. Love them. Go to my website. It is the revised recipe, and I think you're gonna like it better. For my chocolate chip cookies with sea salt. They're right there on the website, and you are gonna make these, keep them in the fridge, freeze the dough, but they are so quick and easy to make. You are going to love them. And I recommend a nice hot cup of coffee. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.